Hello, and welcome to the Cubicorn Games Podcast. My name is Dustin Morbido. We're going to have a probably pretty tight little show today, talking about game development updates, maybe one or two things that have been going on gameplay-wise. And joining me to talk about the stuff that we've been up to, Lorraine Morbido is here.
It's true. I'm here. Hello.
Indeed. We're in the thick of it now, working out a ton of game stuff.
Were we ever out of the thick of it?
Oh, I was also just going to be like, oh, it's getting chilly.
Oh. Well, then you said working on game stuff. I'm like, we haven't been out of the thick of it.
It's the workload is ramping up. The temperature is ramping down.
Oh, yeah.
But we're making do. Had our first little snow of the season.
Yeah, about a week ago.
It was only like a day or so where there was snow on the ground. But
it did stick. Like, not all over the place, but enough. And then when the sun came out, it went away. But I got to enjoy it, and that's what matters.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I will continue to enjoy it.
Yeah, we've been busy last week, or not last week, 2 weeks ago rather. We skipped a show to get stuff done. Cucumber stuff is rolling on. I would say we're still making really, really solid progress overall. There will be a new Super Cucumber build in just a few days from now.
Yeah.
As if you're listening to this, the following Friday, the 21st, what day is it?
Friday would be
22nd of November. A new build with a couple of new levels, a version of a new boss fight that's fairly preliminary. We're trying out a bunch of gameplay ideas. The overwhelming majority art in there is either temporary or early.
I mean, I would say one implies the other.
Well, but I mean, like, some of it's like crap I threw together in Paint.Net, and some of it's like sketches you did that look better than that.
I threw together in Clip Studio.
But there's a spectrum, saying none of it's necessarily final, but some of it looks better than others. But we got it up and running in a gameplay way. That's all that matters. I've also tried out some new tech in the laboratory levels to try to help ameliorate some people's issues in terms of getting too lost or too soft-locked.
I proceeded to break said measures earlier today, but
although again,
it's an easy fix.
Yeah, that was better.
It's working as intended, but it has to fail safe because of a certain thing, which then I believe makes it uncompletable. I didn't actually try to continue playing the level, but knowing the layout as I did, I assumed it wasn't possible.
Yeah, we need more testing for sure, but we basically made a change to the way checkpoints work in the game, whereas previously it would kind of just remember the last checkpoint you would hit.
Now it's the last checkpoint that's
on the
floor.
And now it technically remembers every checkpoint you've hit, and then in the laboratory level specifically, it works backwards from the most recent to the least recent based on the current level orientation, because the laboratory levels, they spin around, and so like there's only one surface that's the ground at any given point, and so it'll kind of work. Whenever you die, instead of just going to the last checkpoint you activated, it'll work backwards and go to the last one you activated that is currently on the floor, and then give you that one.
Which I think is a good change. It definitely helped when I was playing through to like not get put back somewhere else that I hadn't already seen at that orientation.
Right.
So I was like, oh, okay, like I was literally just here. I know which way the level is. I know how to like
and it makes
continue
it a little
forward.
easier, as long as we're accounting for it. It makes it a little easier to design those areas too, because that was a sticking point of like it was hard to put checkpoints in some of those spaces, knowing that it was going to drop you some weird way.
And theoretically, we could
at
put
certain times
like a lot more checkpoints because a fourth of them roughly won't be active all the time.
And we're gonna. Again, there will be other changes to all the Tower Fire levels in the future. I'm not necessarily going to address them this build. I might go make some light changes just to try to make sure that there are no completely functional problems with this, but then we'll also go back and at minimum, in the same way we tutorialize the mechanics of every tower, there will be one little specific like text box section somewhere that tells you this explicitly, which is, again, a thing you'd probably figure out over the time. And like, again, you may or may not, the way people play, you may or may not read that text, but I'd rather put it in there in some form anyway, just to let people know that like, because this level is so much weirder, that these do function in a very particular way that is not like they do necessarily in the other worlds, as it were. But yeah, because at this point I'm just trucking on probably, and in fact largely through the end of the year, it's going to be just a dead sprint to make new content, get it stood up in some kind of way, and then once we're basically on the other side of PAX East after like late March is when I'm going to start bugging people again to like, hey, the game is mostly done. At least like the base, like the main path, the main path playthrough. Fingers crossed, will be playable after PAX East. Mm-hmm. And so, hey, if you've got the time and you want to play through this whole thing and give me any thoughts you have, and especially if you feel up to it, take some maybe video footage of like the latter half of the game, particularly those last two levels, or those last two worlds rather, because that stuff's just gonna
be the newest,
be the least tested overall, just by being
newer
only
and
do
being
so harder.
Much.
Yeah, so that'll be the plan, is to hopefully get some people. Either some people have never played or some people haven't played a while to kind of play the base game front to back and get more data that we can use, like as I'm standing up secret levels, to also go back and change some of that stuff, which again, I don't think much will change in the first 4 towers probably at this point, but those last two
light refining, if that.
Yeah, we'll definitely do some tweaking, but it's coming along.
Yeah, I've got the vast majority of static gameplay elements set up for the final tower as well.
Most of it.
I just kind of got a version of the like floating platforms and shit. I think all the basic stuff is in there, and I was like, I don't know. It's been a weird this, and like last week into this week has just been like weird for me. I've been struggling a bit with some of the. I've had so much stuff going on. I feel like I like wrung the stone dry a little bit with like the front end of the design work, because I went really hard on that. And now it's just kind of like I'm sitting there, I'm like trying to do something, and I'm just like staring at it, and I'm like, I have literally nothing, just nothing comes to mind. So I was hesitant about like going forward with actual like enemy design, because like we've had a lot of conversations about what we want for that. So I know what needs to get done, but I'm like, well, do I want to like sit there and bash my keyboard in with my skull for like an hour, or just kind of like ruminate a little bit more and try to come back with more energy or like just a fresher mind? So I've been doing more conceptualizing than really knuckling in,
which is
churning out assets at the rate that I have been over the past like 4 weeks.
Yeah, and again, that's not a bad thing. That's all work too, because usually the end product is better. I've gone back and forth with that over the last week, getting back into level design. Usually the end product is better with at least a little bit of foresight. Or again, try something out, and then it doesn't work out, or like a chunk of it works out. You're like, all right, well, I'm going to put that in my back pocket, come back to it in a couple of scenes, and then, keep working back and forth. But mental work is still work. Like, just because you don't have you haven't taken a thing from like 0 to a finished product in terms of art assets doesn't mean you're not working. I guess.
No, I know. It's just like, I feel like I felt so much more productive like the past like basically month, give or take, when I've been like really, really deep in Tower 6 asset refinement and creation, that it's just kind of like, it feels like I've hit a wall, and it's just like, I can't like see around it. I can't like, I don't know. I think that's just another sign of like, maybe tap the brakes a little bit again.
Yeah,
and
keep pace with yourself. And again, if you feel like you need to talk something out, either need guidance or inspiration, tap me on the shoulder. I'm always here. But sometimes you do just need to step back too, which is fine.
I mean, that's why I had shifted gears a little bit. I mean, I didn't show any of this to you, but I was attempting to like, because I have ideas for what the mansion boss is going to look like. And aside from doing like last week, I did the little like versus screen portrait and animations just to put them in. Presumably they're going to be in this build because the pathway goes there after the tower.
I haven't gotten to it yet, but I will get to it before Friday. Yeah.
So I was like, well, what if I try to like actually like visualize some of my rough ideas? And I wasn't super happy with any of them. So we'll see. They're definitely in certain ways a lot more elaborate in like just a different sort of way than the other bosses have been. At least the idea I have right now. Obviously not super final or anything, but we'll see.
Yeah, sounds good. It's coming along. And again, this is probably going to be the most hectic year of either of our lives. It's going to be up there. But again, the goal is to kind of keep it a steady jog as opposed to like stopping dead and then having to sprint for like, weeks on end near the end cap of it. So like I said, so far, well, I mean, again, we got months and months to go, but like in the last couple of months, I think we've been doing a good job of that. So we'll do our best to keep that up, keep the train rolling, but not necessarily either run it off the tracks too early or like stop it at any individual station for too long without doing anything. So
I will say the fact that we've done so many fewer shows this year in particular, I think has like kind of given me less time, more dedicated to just like head empty workshopping and stuff, because I would do that at our booths a lot. And I think I just need to either try and carve more time, like actually sit down and like make time for that. Like I'll probably just get that little notepad out and just like sketching it, as opposed to like, because it is such a different vibe doing that physically as opposed to digitally. There's just something different about using, I guess, my original medium of just like actual like pen and paper drawing versus like the digital stuff, which I would say I'm always going to be learning. There's always something to learn, but there's still like some flavor of like perfectionism that I want to do with like digital art. Like it's hard for me to just leave it at least somewhat refined. So I think that like hinders my brainstorming a little bit. Whereas like pen and paper, I'm like, oh, this is nothing. Like this physically can't go anywhere because it is just a drawing on paper. I can't like throw it into Unity or whatever. I have to translate it another time. It's not a final thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I can just kind of let go and just like almost like free associate. And I mean, I don't remember, it might have been too many games probably the year we did it, 2 years, not this year, but last.
Right.
Where I spent like the entire weekend figuring out how to draw the foreman for Tower 4 because I hadn't really drawn him much. And he's got 6 limbs, and I was like, what do I do with these? So I spent a lot of that show just drawing him different positions over and over and over again, and that made the like sprite designing process when I got there so easy. It's like, okay, I know how. It's like I can do a fully new cucumber animation in probably like that's like a line art to rendered, colored, finished in probably like an hour, depending on how like intense it is. And that's from like no sketch to like fully finished sprite, because I've drawn him so many freaking times. It's that muscle memory. And for the rest of the stuff in the game, which I've never, like, I'm again going off of no baseline, like 5 onward has all been like really off the cuff with no like prior assets to really work off of. Like I need more of that. I just need to sketch. I need to do more of that. So maybe over this like weird like Thanksgiving-y longer weekend I've got kind of coming up and into like whatever the month of December has in store for me work-wise. Probably try to get more just sketching in to make the digital process easier by getting the reps in a medium I'm at least a little more like forgiving of myself and comfortable in.
Keep on trucking. But again, we made some great progress. And like I said, you'll see some of it in just a couple days here. And then we'll keep on going into the new year and beyond. I did finally order more postcards because there was I had meant to adequate deal. So those will show up, I think, in a week, 2 weeks or something, like early December. Just have to make sure that this, because I don't remember if they packed them up well enough that they wouldn't get wet. If they had if it happened to be slushy or something.
Well, they were like they're wrapped in plastic.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that holes don't get ripped and stuff when UPS people kick them around or whatever.
Well, no,
so we'll just have to keep an eye out.
The packs of.
Oh, you mean the inside the whatever package? Yeah.
They were in. Those were like they're bundled in like I don't remember how many.
It was varied 50 to 100 counts.
Yeah. So those were in plastic inside of a box. And then the box was probably wrapped in somewhere.
And like I said, there's that, and then we may still do, I don't know if we're going to do another big piece of signage or not. I'm still leaning towards yes, but it doesn't even necessarily have to be for PAX East this year.
I had asked for some amount of reference.
And I'm going to finish, I wanted to finish this build first, and then I'll figure it out. But yeah, we'll
got a lot of other stuff
we'll do some designing together, but like I said, if that came together for PAX East, great. If not, we'll use it for... We either won't do it at all or we'll do it for like PAX West, and then presumably our final PAX East will be like the launch one, at least for Cucumber. Yeah. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But yeah, we're trucking along, getting a lot of stuff done. If you're interested in checking out any of that work, well, first of all, you could go to the Super Cucumber Steam page and wishlist it. Just search for Super Cucumber on Steam. And while you're there, if you click the Discord link, that's on the Steam page, you can join our Discord and play the new build when it drops in just a couple days here.
Yep.
Which we'd really appreciate. But yeah, we're still keeping on. Again, we'll try to get as much done as we can over the holidays. I know there will be little gaps for actual holiday days, hanging out with family and friends and whatever. But we're going to keep on trucking, so...
I doubt this is the last podcast of the year, but it's probably one of them.
Definitely not. There will be at least one in December.
Yeah.
In some
we
form.
Normally take a, through New Year-ish break. Yeah, just because, there's too much going on and, it's easier just to,
there will
keep working around that as opposed to juggling more things.
There will absolutely be a show in December. Maybe two. One at most. Or one at least. And then, we'll probably come back mid-January. And in fact, that's still the plan for builds. It will be to drop one around then too, to drop another cucumber build at January-ish.
And
maybe,
then the PAX one.
Yeah,
after.
either somewhere in January or very early February. And then
nice.
we'll drop one there. We'll drop one at PAX East, and then again at that point we'll probably take a week or two after PAX to kind of reevaluate, readjust. Decide if we're going to still keep posting builds public or not. I'm still kind of leaning towards no.
Yeah.
And then really just hunker down for this final year of sprint to get this game done. That's what's on the Super Cucumber horizon. That's what we'll be doing for the next 12 plus months.
Woo!
And that's really all I had to talk about today. I've been in the game dev mines too deep to have been playing too much in the last couple of weeks. Lorraine, did you want to talk about any game stuff? Did you want to talk about Wrap It Up Digimon or play anything
I will.
else,
it has been it was I think what would have been the actual... So 2 weeks ago from when this is posted is actually when I platinumed and 100%ed in a way Digimon Story Time Stranger. The last thing on my docket was was in quotes beat the game on Mega Plus difficulty, which if you're someone considering playing it, it's just the final boss. You don't have to play the whole campaign through it. You need the New Game Plus save file to access Mega Plus difficulty, but you can just turn that on at the end and then proceed to get your ass stomped if you're not properly prepared. Because I did just kind of
try it.
I through my first I played it on basic or base or whatever, the normal difficulty that was recommended, and then my second playthrough I played on hard because you transfer everything over, and I wasn't really I wasn't trying. You don't really have to. It's not if you're playing just to have a good time, you don't really need to strategize that much, except for the Junomon fight. Hate it. Oh my God. That was one of the worst things. It was so much fun to stomp her the second time around. It was beautiful. But that final boss fight is a doozy. It's a lot to deal with even on a normal playthrough. It's not super overwhelming. It's just it's a long fight. There are a lot of phases, and you can kind of you can't really skip them, but you can speed them along with certain ways. Shout out to Apocalypse. You know what you did. And I had when I got there the first time, I think you watched me do my first just completely blind attempt. I had gotten to the final boss and I'm okay, I'm going to turn on Mega Plus. I'm just going to see. I did get stomped into dust. So I went and I was doing a bunch of other of the side quest stuff because I had ignored all of those in my second playthrough. It literally took me maybe 3 hours to go from start to final boss of just skipping literally every cutscene and just burning down every single fight. I did not have to try in almost any fight up until partway through the game when I didn't just one-shot the boss every single time. Because your guys stay at the same level. You don't have to use those guys, but why the hell wouldn't you? And then I'm going to assign people roles. We're going to maximize their the extra abilities they can have, their personalities. We're going to change their natural trait or whatever. I don't remember what it's called. And their equipment. And I was okay, I'm going to making a team and I'm going to give them roles. We're going to have a plan. And I was in voice chat with a bunch of of our friends and stuff when I was actually taking my for real stab at it after I did almost completely max out the stats on one of my guys because it's super tedious and requires a lot of in-game money, and I probably could have done more, but I was just I don't care. And boy howdy, does that make a difference. He is the only one who survived the entire time. Shout out to my boy Serafimon. I love you. You were with me from the start. You were Patamon, literally the same one that I picked at the beginning of the game. Love you, babe. And in the end, he was the only one who was still alive, because on Mega Plus difficulty, you can't use items, period. Just at all, which meant I had to be very specific about revives, because that is a move that someone is using a turn for, as opposed to using an item which you can use before an attack on any turn normally, which is why I didn't do the whole campaign like that. Partially because the stats also get boosted to fuck, and I didn't want to try. I was just there for the final boss, and I did enjoy it. Like, it was fun, like, actually, like, strategizing really, like, optimally and, like, picking my guys very specifically and all that stuff. I did have a good time. I enjoyed that fight. And then once that was done, I did complete my card collection of the game, even though you don't have to. Thank God. I hate those stupid pucks or whatever they were. I don't remember what they were fucking called in the Cyber Sleuth games. They scarred me for life. Oh my God, there were too many. And I did complete the equivalent of the Pokédex, the field guide, in there just for fun. I was having fun doing it. I wanted to see all the guys, and there were some that surprised me. And I got fully cucked at the Sony State of Play when they were focusing on Japanese developers, and they're like, hey, Bandai Namco has some information about DLC, and they're like, oh, here's some stuff for Katamari and a date, and then it's like Digimon Story, Time Stranger, and it's like the first DLC pack is Winter, and I'm just like, fuck you. So I have no idea when that's coming out. It could be December. It's probably going to be like January or February next year, because fuck me, I guess. But I've also kind of been in a, like, partially just I've had a bunch of other things, like, needing my attention recently. But I've almost been in, like, a video game holding pattern, because, like, I want to keep playing that game, but there's, like, nothing for me to do in it. And I have to get over the inertia of starting a new game, which is, like, one of the hardest things in playing video games, is just sitting down and starting a new video game. So I haven't done anything. But yeah, really enjoyed Time Stranger. It was well worth the wait.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I mean, it was nice that, again, I know you were looking forward to it, and that it seems to have met your expectations.
I had a lot of fun.
And like you said, you'll play a little bit more of it here or there.
Yeah, there's 3 in
some
total.
Some other little content comes out.
DLC drops.
Is that stuff narrative, or like is it?
There is some narrative content to it. They mentioned it, like it's on like the store listing or whatever, because like I got one of the bigger pre-order things because I wanted to. It's like the one game I bought this year, and it came with all 3 DLC drops. Yeah. And there's like there's more Digimon to get, and there's like episodic content, it sounds like. So I don't know exactly what that means.
Right.
But whenever in winter the first one drops, I'll have probably a baseline for what the other 2 will be like, which will probably, I'm assuming they're probably going to be spread out, because like it has like a guaranteed delivery by like September of next year. So I'm assuming it'll be like spaced. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. If you like monster collecting-ish, non-Pokemon turn-based RPG. You can do a lot worse. I can't think of a more of a modern one that would be better, because they really don't make them like this anymore.
One of us has got to play Bonanza at some point. Maybe it'll be me. Maybe it'll be you. I don't know.
That is not a monster collecting turn-based RPG.
No. Not
that
even
is
close.
Donkey Kong Bonanza.
I was just thinking of things that I have been meaning to at least try at some point. If I don't end up playing that as the next video game I end up playing, it'll probably just be like one of a handful of indie games over the course of like the winter sale or whatever. Like just some random stuff I pick up. Looking forward to dipping a toe in that at some point.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna try Hades 2 and Silk Song. Again, not that I'm not really expecting either of those to like knock my socks off. I like Hades, and I thought Hollow Knight was okay. So like but I certainly wasn't in love with either of them, especially Hollow Knight. So neither of those I don't think is going to knock my socks off in particular, just because of how I felt about it.
I mean, they're more of what the first one was.
Yeah, right. It's more of the same, more of the other games, which, again, I enjoyed parts of both of them. But
I think the main thing I still liked about
away.
Hades was that it felt like Bastion in a way, because like a lot of Supergiant games feel like Bastion.
Well,
like I like Bastion.
I'll say I like Hades. I think I liked Hades more at the time than I probably will now. I'm a little like the rest of the the video game landscape. I'm a little rogueliked out.
Yeah, it really needs to be something like that really gets me.
So that's not even necessarily a knock against that game's intrinsic quality. It's just like, you know, there've been a lot of
there've been a lot of, and we've
things,
played a lot of them.
Yeah,
we made one of them
over the last like 5 years or so. There have been a ton of, like you said, yeah.
Because it's not like we haven't been playing them, because we have been. We've played collectively quite a few, honestly.
So we'll see.
Be prepared
what comes next.
for Rightfully Barry Arms dropping in January.
Buy that
27th, I believe. I believe it's the 27th.
Yeah, buy that and then buy that game, play it, and then take a roguelike break. Let that game cap off your personal roguelike era for a little bit here.
It's the only game on the market that has Raincoat Berry in it. It's harder to get better than that.
For sure.
It's peak game design. I have that little card on my dresser, so I see it when I'm getting ready in the morning, and I'm just like, if nobody else got me, Raincoat Berry's got me.
Yeah, but I think, honestly, unless you've got anything else off the top of the dome, I think that'll be about it for today.
I picked up Animal Crossing again for a little bit today. OG Animal Crossing. That was fun.
Always a good time.
Started because we had watched some amount of Kirby Air Ride yesterday, and I was like, I could do a city trial. Then I was looking.
Did you play Air Ride at all?
I did. I played a city trial, and then I was like, I could also just check on my Animal Crossing town, because it had been a minute, and I spent like almost an hour picking all the weeds and
tidying up,
talking to my villagers like, we haven't seen you in 9 months, and I'm like, yeah, that's right, you haven't, because I like Animal Crossing too close to the sun earlier this year at the end of last, where I was dual wielding GameCube Animal Crossing and New Horizons at the same time.
It's a lot of Animal Crossing.
It was a lot of Animal Crossing. I don't know if I haven't really looked at any of the information for that big content drop, because I also kind of don't care. I don't know. My relationship to New Horizons is like, it waxes and wanes more, but like fucking Animal Crossing GameCube springs eternal, man. I think that game is 100% my favorite of the series. Like, I could come back to that every year for a little bit and enjoy every second of playing that game. Like, there's something so deeply nostalgic for sure, but like kind of timeless about it, because it is so simple. It's just the most bare bones of any of the franchise, and I mean that in the best way. I can play it for an hour a day and feel completely satiated, like, because there's nothing else to do. You do your daily chores, and you keep talking to the villagers. They're going to get pissed off at you. I had 3 of them ask me if I had died. Like, that is the caliber of, I love how mean the GameCube Animal Crossing villagers are. They're great. And I don't think there's anything in New Horizons that can give me that same feeling that the GameCube one does.
Well, with all that said, I think we are, in fact, going to call it a show.
Woo!
Thank you, Lorraine, for working so hard on video game stuff and chatting about Digimon and various other video games.
I will always chat about Digimon. Shout out to the copy of Digimon Battle Spirit 2 that I bought recently, which I still haven't booted up yet. I know where my SP is, and I did find a charger, because I wasn't entirely sure if I had an SP or /DS charger on hand. Turns out I did. I knew exactly where it was when I went and looked for it. So I'm going to boot that up at some point.
Okay.
I haven't, I still the Digimon itch that I had earlier this year has literally gone nowhere, if not has intensified. So get ready for more of that bullshit.
Scratch that itch more on a future podcast.
Always.
Yeah. Which, speaking of, you can follow this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and most other places where podcasts are found. You can still wishlist Super Cucumber on Steam. You can still click that Discord link on Steam, or go to cubicorngames.com and click the Discord link on that website, and join our Discord and play Super Cucumber and be an awesome dude. So yeah, please consider doing all those things. Stay safe out there.
And if you've got a game you'd like us to play or get in contact with us, email us at podcast@cubicorngames.com.
It is much more likely that I'll try something.
We will continue saying this until we manifest it. Someday we're going to stream again once we have some more amount of time. Maybe we'll even just start doing like more like review write-up situations. Like, maybe we could do that. Like, because again, the having a searchable something pop up for any like small game is huge. Maybe we'll do something like that as opposed to like sit down streams. I don't know. Dustin likes making video essays. Maybe we'll do some of that. But podcast at cubicorngames.com is a good way for us to see something if you saw something.
Sounds great. And yeah, with all that said,
hell yeah.
Keep hanging in there, stay safe, and we will see you next time.
Bye.